Hello! Today we're going to review the Xezo Maestro Grande fountain pen. I've reviewed some Xezos before, and this is a really nice one. I'm actually going to be giving this away on my website at bestfountainpen.com probably over the next month or two, but you can check it out there again at bestfountainpen.com. But to get to the pen and kind of show you a little bit about it, it comes in the little cardboard sleeve that many fountain pens come in. On top of it has this sort of butterfly box where it butterflies open, which is it's nice. I don't really keep boxes, they just take up too much space, but I'll be keeping this one because I'm going to be giving it away to some lucky reader or watcher. You can find out more on my website. But what comes in the box? So it's actually a really pretty pen and great packaging. So it comes with a cleaning cloth, that's for polishing, and it's a pretty big one, so I like that. It's branded. Mine came with 4 cartridges and a converter. One of them is already loaded into the pen because I've already done like writing samples and written in my journal and stuff. I haven't used the converter yet, but I'm assuming it's the same as all the other Xezos. It says it's made in Germany and it's a strong writer, so I wasn't really worried about that. It does come with your standard warranty card. Does anybody ever fill those out? I don't. And then just some information on how to fill the pen and any questions you might have and certification, that sort of thing. What's cool about the Xezo brand is that all of their pens, at least all that I've reviewed so far, I've reviewed quite a few, are limited edition. So that means that they have serial numbers on them, which is really cool. They sent me a flyer with the pen, kind of a marketing handout, just some background of the pen and things they wanted me to know so that I could convey to you some of those things in the review. I'm going to read that to you later because I thought it's not your standard marketing speak. It's got a lot of actually interesting information about this series. So this is the Maestro Grande. I'm kind of pointed myself into the window so you could pick up the galoche. Don't slaughter me for pronunciation. I speak English only, sorry. Galoche, however you want to pronounce it, but you can see the diamond cut pattern. It picks up pretty well in the finish, and what doesn't pick up is just the amount of shine. And the way that they talk about it at Xezo is they put in several layers, like a finish between each clear coat on the lacquer, so that gives it some depth, and you can definitely see that. I really love this shade of red. I think it's appropriate this time. I don't know what time you're watching this, what time of year, but in the background is my Christmas tree. It's Christmas, so it was just kind of festive, and I thought it was great. And if I run the giveaway through Valentine's Day, it would be kind of fun to give away a red pen on Valentine's Day too. So anyway, it is a heavy pen. You'll notice that as soon as you grab it out of the box, it definitely weighs a little bit because it's brass. I do like the silver finishings that go on the red pen. And what's really cool about this particular pen is they actually sent me, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll point it out. I don't think you can pick it up. I need to get a better lens, but it's serial number 1. So this is number 1, and in documentation they gave me, they said there's 150 of each color. They ran 4 colors in this series of Maestro Grande. So this is serial number 1, and I'll be giving it away to one lucky person for free. So I'm really excited about that. It does say around the cap band, Xezo Maestro Grande, serial number 1, 2017. It has the X for the cap band at the top there, which is just lightly engraved, and then it's got the black back and then the black blind cap, I guess you would call it. I do like the clip itself is pretty strong and it's flexible. It's not, some cheaper pens just have like a piece of metal here that doesn't really flex at all. This one has a lot of give, so it's actually a useful clip. And then you can see the Greek key outline there on both sides of the body, which I also think is a nice touch. I like that it has the black background painted in and then kind of silver on top. What's really nice about the Grande is the oversized nib. It's just very large, and that's to balance the extreme size of the pen. This is definitely a bulky pen, and because it's brass, it's also very heavy on both sides, but in a good way. I tend to like heavy pens. I don't like posting heavy caps. This cap is heavier than most, and ironically or not, most of the weight is near the end of the cap, which means it definitely wants to pull out of your hand. They also have threads on the back for it to post, as well as obviously section threads here because it's a screw-on, screw-off cap. What I don't like is literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to get on, right? What also is annoying if you're like me and want to write quickly would just be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost 8. So it's like 7.5 to thread it on the back. Some people that doesn't annoy, I guess if this was a special occasion pen, like maybe you were just writing Christmas letters or journaling and you wanted it to be more of an event rather than a practical, like I'm a very practical writer, I just carry a pen and I want to uncap it and get writing really quickly. You're not going to do that with this pen. But I also don't know very many people that want to carry around, you know, $150, $200 beater pen to just jot notes down with either. That wouldn't be this pen. I have a Quaco for that, that I could let beat around and I don't mind the finish getting scratched, that sort of thing. So it is very heavy. It's not a poster. Yes, it's capable of posting, but it's far too heavy to be practical to post and nobody's gonna wanna do the 8 turns to put it on the back. I mean, it's more of a, you know, I guess, I don't really know why they put the threads on the back. I guess it's just for people that would want to. I just don't know why you would want to. Again, it makes it very cap heavy. And the assembly that's in the back, that you can see the joinery inside. I know you can't on the cap, but there's like a nut that kind of holds all this assembly together. It's very, very heavy on the inside that will pull out of your hand. But I don't want to take away from the finish of the pen. So don't post it. It's not going to work well for you. But the nib is gorgeous. It's just a standard nib. It doesn't appear to be something specific to Xezo. It looks like they've branded it somebody else's nib. It does say Germany on it. They all come in fine unless you request a medium. They can put a medium nib on there. There's no other options for nibs. The fine works very well. On second thought, if I was to pick my own pen out of this line, I'd probably go with a medium for this size of pen, just because the bigger pens, personally, I like to have a thicker line. It's just a personal preference, probably because I have so many fountain pens at this point that I just like to have a thin pen for thin writing and a thicker pen for thicker lines. But that's because I keep several inked at the same time. So that's just a personal preference. You might be different. Everything is pretty kosher on the inside of the pen. It's normal. I loaded it with a cartridge already that they sent. Brass insides, brass threads, which is nice for longevity. Threads onto metal. There's not, some pens, like cheaper pens, you'll see brass threading onto plastic, which always scares me because of, you know, the wear factor over time. If you're capping and uncapping or unscrewing the section to load it and reload it with ink, all of those things. Plastic threads there, which is pretty normal. As far as how it writes, I'll show you that in a minute, but it does write well. It's a reliable writer. It doesn't give me that same buttery lusciousness that, you know, a solid gold nib, or I guess even a 14 karat gold would give, because there's just more give in those nibs. This one's stainless steel and it writes very well. It has a solid line. I didn't experience any skipping or hard starting, anything like that. But it's definitely not the buttery softness that you would want from a pen personally that I was going to pay about $150 for. That's kind of around where the price point starts that I like to get into the gold nibs, but that's a personal preference. Obviously, before anybody points it out in the notes, yes, I'm well aware that the ball of the nib that actually touches the paper is iridium, and that's on every single fountain pen, regardless of whether it's steel or gold. I totally get that. What I'm talking about is the feel of the nib and the sort of flex or buttery softness as you write, rather than just the iridium tip that's touching the paper. That's kind of, to me, that's more smoothness. I'm talking about softness. It's really hard to describe if you're not actually using the pen, but that's what I mean. What Xezo does probably the best of most of the brands that I've reviewed, I think they do better than most brands, is finish. Their finishes are some of my favorites that I reviewed. I think their Maestro Shell fountain pen was probably my favorite finish of all of them. It's just like, there's another review in YouTube on it if you want to check it out, but that finish was just amazing with the different pieces of shell affixed all over it and under a bunch of lacquer. This one is amazing too. And I just think they do a really great job at finish. I wish they were maybe not brass all the way through. I wish the caps were a little lighter and posted with a friction fit rather than screwing on, because I'm just gonna be honest, and I don't know how many of you feel the same, I'm not gonna take the time to screw the cap on. It's just not gonna happen. So if that's the only way to post it sensibly, then I just won't post. Over the years, I've gotten more used to that. It's just not my favorite thing. I like to post, I prefer posting, but I want a friction fit. I don't wanna have to screw it on and off. It's just too time consuming. And although I love fountain pens and the tradition of it all, I'm not gonna take that much time. I'm still young and have a family, and I'm not just sitting at home writing letters all day, neither are most of you. So anyway, we'll kind of get on to the writing sample, but let me read you what they enclosed with the pen. Big long letter they enclosed with the pen, because I thought there was some good information in there. that might be helpful to you. So the item you received is the Maestro LG I'm going to screw this up. Rhodochrosite. That's a mineral. Rhodochrosite? Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Fine. Serial number of your pen is 001. Very excited about that. The special addition to the Maestro line reflects the vibrant coloring of the rhodochrosite mineral found in Colorado and pays tribute to the rich diversity of Earth's gemstones. Each pen is individually numbered. We make about 150 pieces as a fountain pen in 2017 in this color. The solid brass barrel and screw-on cap are diamond cut and layered in at least 25 layers of high gloss, translucent Swiss lacquers. After each layer of lacquer is applied, the barrels of the pen are heat dried and then manually polished to achieve a highly reflective surface with deep and rich colors in a 3D appearance. The lacquering is done in a clean room in which the humidity and temperature are controlled and airborne particles are eliminated as much as possible. Obviously, that helps preserve the finish. Some of the things landed in there that you then have to sand out later. And as an aside, not in the letter, my husband makes fountain pens. He doesn't have his own nibs, right? He makes kit pens, but he can make them out of anything. He's very handy. And he noticed that, because he does them in his workshop out back, that if there's anything at all, dust or anything floating in the air, it tends to settle in your liquid finish there and you've got to buff it out. So clean room is a great idea. Lacquering is done in the clean room, which humidity and temperature are controlled and airborne particles are eliminated as much as possible. It may take up to 3 days to finish each batch of pens when adding the lacquer and manually polishing to make sure there are no imperfections between layers. Metal fittings are made of brass and are platinum plated. The Maestro Legrand's weight and balanced bodies allows for supreme comfort in both large and small hands. There's the marketing. The pen features a fine point stainless steel nib. So length posted 165 millimeters, diameter 13 millimeters, capped is 142 millimeters, and the weight is 59 grams. It is a weighty pen. It's definitely not light, but I tend to like a heavier pen. Please note that the Legrand series were made in a total of 4 colors, each reflecting a different mineral. Rhodochrosite red, Maldavite green, I don't know if I'm gonna slaughter this, Dioptase blue, Dioptase, Dioptase blue, and Tanzanite blue. Medium-sized nibs are optional, so obviously they come in a fine automatically, but they can make you a medium. So anyway, they provided this pen to me free of charge. I did not get paid to do this review. I just enjoy doing this for your viewing pleasure. Obviously, if you buy anything through the Amazon links at my site, I make a little money to help me pay for hosting and things like that, but it's definitely not enough to fund my retirement. So don't freak out that I'm gonna quit my day job and be a millionaire because anything that I'm doing here reviewing fountain pens. I genuinely enjoy it. And in fact, they gave this to me, but I am re-gifting it to you between now and Valentine's Day, just because I think it's fun. And I think it's fun to have readers that are engaged and willing to follow me on Facebook and things like that in order to have these fun giveaways of a $150 pen, because I know some of my watchers won't ever spend this much on a pen, so that makes it really extra fun for them. Many of my viewers do, and more, and afford grail pens that I haven't even bought for myself yet. So all of these things considered, I'm very grateful to Xezo for giving me this pen and with this beautiful finish so that I can re-gift it to you. My gift to you, happy holidays. This one comes in the fine nib, or you can also get it in a medium. So I just wanted to kind of show you how it writes. We're not going to post that as we discussed before. Tiny little skip there. That's the first time I've experienced it from writing in my journal. right, and there we have it. The Xezo Maestro Grande fountain pen writing sample in rhodocosite. I think that's how you pronounce it. It also comes in Moldavite green, Dioptase blue, and Tanzanite blue. So different options available. And you can check it out. Oh, I hope I didn't cut that off. There you go. You can check out a more detailed review with some close-up photos on my website at bestfountainpen.com. I'll put the link below in the description. Thanks for watching.